these with your wife, and you're not allowed to have sex with married women unless they are possessions of the right hand. You're not allowed to have sex with married women except possessions of your right hand. That's like 424.
And then
Um, I don't know an exact number. Muhammad had lots of slaves. Yeah, some of them, for instance, situation with Maria the Copt. Um, she was kind of considered a slave, and no, she wasn't. No, he had sex with her before uh, before they. I don't even think they did get married, but she was a gift to him from the Egyptian king, and he had sex with her, and then he promised that he wouldn't have sex with her again, but he did. He was given permission by Allah. Yeah. Yes. And I'm trying to find some of the verses for you because the Malakat al Yamin, possessions of the right hand, your right hand possess. Those are really sex slaves, and they're in the Quran so many times. The right hand possess. Oops, is this in Arabic? Yeah. All right, let me see. And what are you doing this for?
who allows me to speak and isn't disrespectful. And I quoted the story, like I told him the stories, but couldn't provide the source. And he was like, "I've never heard that before." And I was like, "So if Muhammad did have sex slaves, it would be evil?" And he said, "Yes." But
Yeah, well, that's actually what they are, and there's, no blame on you if you have, it's like chapter 23, verse 6 of the Quran. Um, let me see if I can find that.
what I think he'll do is something along the lines like Muslims don't call, like Aisha being a child, they would say she wasn't a child, but everybody else would consider that to be a child. So like we would say a majority of people would say that would be considered a slave and a sex slave. But the Muslims might say that's a concubine or I don't another word or something.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, but regardless of what they say, it is what it is, الذين هم فروجهم حافظون. I'm trying to look here at trying to see 23, 3 through 6. Except for their wives or those bondwomen in their possession, they are free from blame. So saying that men who, the way they mention it is who, protect their, um, guard their private parts from everybody, except from their wives and those that their right hand possess, meaning, who don't have sex with anyone except for their wives and the bond women in their possession. And so, what are those bond women in their possession? They're allowed to have sex with them, and there's so many videos and sheikhs talking about this, that this is permissible, to have sex with them. And um, it's very clear that and it's not just back in the time of Muhammad. It's still practiced today. And
Who's the number one, like, that they couldn't deny, like sheikh or scholar?
there's a guy. I know in Arabic there's a guy named Ali Jim'a, and he did a big, but it was in Arabic. There was an interview in Arabic on TV. Um, he's, a woman was interviewing him, and she said, "You said that if a woman works in your house, that you can treat her like a wife, meaning you're allowed to approach her that way." And he tried to deny it, but it was on TV that he said this. And so it was a long interview with two of the biggest, very famous Arab Islamic muftis in Egypt, and so he couldn't deny it because it was on TV. So this is something that's unfortunately very common, and accepted because the Quran says it's okay, So no matter how
that Muslim too, I don't know, he's super popular in the Middle East, but he's especially known for like a video where he's like, "Show me one pivotal verse where Jesus says I am God. One verse."
Oh,
anywhere.
Is that Ahmed Deedat, or
I think so.
Is it in English?
That's it. But a lady asked him about sex slave, the same guy, and then he admits it. Yeah.
Is it Zakir Naik? Do you know? Yeah, Zakir Naik. Yeah, yeah, he's a snake. So Zakir Snake. Those are, well, it's very clear in the Quran. It's in there many times. This thing about the possession of the right hand, and they try to weasel their way out of it, but it's very clear from Muhammad's life and from his teachings that is permissible. And he did it with Maria the Copt. Sophia was, as a captive. I'm not sure if she was considered a captive. Um, yeah, she made him dinner, and actually, there's many hadiths that say she was killed. After making that dinner, and so there's somewhere Muhammad says don't kill her, but there. What is it? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Yes. Well, she. Um, it- yeah, you're breaking up, bro. I'm having a little bit of hard time. I no. Um, I'm trying to find it here. I you know what? I'm trying to find the trying to find the actual source where it says that. She um, not that I don't think so, but here's a hadith that says, I had determined to kill you. Thereupon Allah, and then Muhammad said, Allah will never give you the power to do it. Um, and then should we not kill her? Thereupon he said, no. I felt the effects of the poison. So, all right. Yes, it was I've heard different names used, but let me see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was Sophia is her name, and he was 60. He killed her mother, father, and all that, and brother and uncle and everybody. And then she's the one Muhammad asked her to have. She offered to make dinner for Muhammad that night, and yeah, and that was where the situation at the tent where the guy stood guard. And I mean, even Muhammad's followers, knew that she was a possible danger to him, because he had killed her brother, father, and husband. And so he stood guard around the tent, to make sure that she didn't kill him. Plus, she was 17 years old, which probably means she was probably very strong, and he was like 100 years. He was about 60 years old right now, sick and wrinkled and everything. And that's actually he lived another 3 years. So that and she's the one who offered to make him dinner that night. And so,
does that story say he slept with her as well, or?
um, I was looking at two different sources. The hadith, Anas reported that a Jewess came to Allah's messenger with poisoned mutton. He took of what had been brought to him. When the effect of the poison was felt, he called for her and asked her about it. Whereupon she said, I had determined to kill you. Thereupon he said, Allah will not give you the power to do it. He uh, uh, he said, should we not kill her? Thereupon he said, no. He, Anas, said, I felt the effects of the poison on the uvula of Allah's messenger. Um, so there's a lot of different sources that talk about that. And so the Jewess brought him poisoned sheep. The prophet ate. She was brought to the prophet. Shall we kill her? He says no. Um, but excuse me. I have read some hadith where it says he did kill her. And should we not kill her? No, he replied. Uh, used to like the foreleg given Mas'ud. believe that the Jew. Yeah, I'm reading these different hadiths, and all of them, these that I'm reading right now, all say that he said no, not to kill her. But I'm pretty sure he did have her killed. It's a really interesting story because it's kind of like a competing. Brought poison, served it. Okay, to him. The Jews had poisoned it. Yeah.